you people?
What do you mean, you people?
Huh? I know Kung Fu.
Show me.
I'm a peacock! You gotta let me fly!
Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, sometimes it rains.
It's the Al Travis Show. We get in here once a week. She's Shannon Watson, and she is the leader of Majority in the Middle. Shannon, how are you?
I am good, Alan. How are you doing?
Can't complain. I've got a lot of, not trying to stump you, because that would be mean.
Okay.
But questions, do you get the feeling, Senator Draheim said he's not going to run yesterday. He's not going to run for his office.
Yes.
And I'm going to get his name, Steve Kaczynski.
Steve Swazinski.
Swazinski. He said he's out. There have been others already.
Yeah.
Are we on pace for a record? We had as many special elections as we've ever had, and
True.
now you're seeing all these people not in. Is this a pretty normal attrition rate, if that's the way to call it?
This is actually pretty normal, yes,
okay.
for this time of year. It seems like it ticks up, it seems like there's more. And that's partially because this is just the year where everybody is on the ballot. All of the House and all of the Senate is on the ballot. So like last year, last time around, there were people who retired, but it was only the House.
Okay. And that makes some sense. In the timing of this, you've talked to your family. Let's just let it get out there so there's enough time for everybody else. Let's not go through the holiday season yet. So, doing it in early November, that's a pretty normal occurrence?
It's pretty normal. Yeah, it's pretty normal. Early November, like right before the holidays. And then also right before the session starts, although the session starts February 17th in 2026. Yeah. But the precinct caucuses, the party precinct caucuses are February 3rd. So gotcha. I imagine we may see more in January as well.
I don't have it right in front of me, but I know I read this somewhere. I presume it was in the take. The amount of years, to make it sound like they're old. Pappas has left. She's been there for a long time. The amount of actual legislative years under the belt seems relatively high. Is that true? Or, obviously, the longer you've been, maybe it is.
Well, in 2022, we also had some long-time retirements. Going into the 23 session. So in 2022, there was like 800 years of legislative experience that walked out the door. So I think the figure that Boyce had this morning was 747.
Okay, so you saw that. Okay, I read it somewhere. I don't have it right in front of me. But, and again, obviously, you've been in long enough. That's when you retire. It's called retirement. You're getting out. So is that a staggering number of years, or?
It's a lot.
You're right about last time. We got 1,500 years in the last two sessions.
Right. Well, it is a lot, and that's spread over 30 some people or whatever.
Yeah.
But yes, when you have legislators who are in for 4 decades, like Senator Pappas and Senator Rest, then that adds up. You mentioned at the top Senator Draheim. He has been in for 10 years, and he believes in term limits, and this is his way. I talked to him a little bit yesterday via email. This is his way of living out that value that he doesn't think that people should be sitting in the seats for, X number of years. So he's hanging it up after 10 voluntarily to live out his value of the fact that people shouldn't be there for a long time.
The kiss up to Draheim a little. He is my senator, by the way. He was an interesting warrior. I think because he wasn't trying to be on the front page of everything, and he fought for all the, pardon me for saying, the little guy stuff.
Yeah.
How to keep people in houses, how to do this. This guy was the warrior for the guy who didn't have anything, and this is just my opinion, obviously. But you didn't hear him jumping up and down about whatever the front page news article was about the thing. His nose was down for 10 years and just did what he really thought was right. I like the guy a ton, so I see you smiling. I'm not overstating that. He was the little guy's warrior.
Yeah, he was great. I thought he genuinely, he had his his values and his opinions on things, and really did try to work collaboratively in ways that made sense. So I'm disappointed. There's a lot of people that I'm disappointed to let go of, and Draheim is definitely one of those.
That's fair enough. Let me ask you this. We get news today that this Mike Newcomb is trying to be the next Jesse Ventura. I don't know the guy. Adam, but know him.
Yeah, don't know him.
But to kind of pretend that you could pull off a Jesse Ventura kind of thing. Now, maybe the world is in that same kind of spot. I wouldn't even necessarily disagree. But Mike Newcomb, you're no Jesse Ventura. I watched Jesse Ventura fight on Thanksgiving Day in the AWA. I knew Jesse Ventura. You know what I'm saying? Yes. The name recognition knows. He says I'm coming in, and it's something called the Forward Independence Party.
Correct.
He's going to put $100K of his own money in, which, by the way, I give him street credit on how rich he's worth. That means you're in. You're willing to put your your money up. But $100,000 in the governor's race? Shannon, what are we talking? 20 million each? The Democrats, your $100K isn't getting you postage stamps. You know what I'm saying? There's no way that kind of money, unless some huge organization, there's no way that plays unless people start sending checks, right?
You know, the curious thing to me is not necessarily about, you know, how much money we raise, because those are the numbers that get decimated. I'm really curious about where the money goes. And there have been some stories. No, seriously, there have been some stories in the last several years about how much money it costs to fundraise. So, like, there have been a couple of first-time or let me say, slightly less connected candidates who wound up, you know, they raised like $1 million, but then it comes out that 750,000 of that went back to the fundraising platform.
Oh yeah, and I don't know what it's called, the Red Dot and the Blue Club, or he's got their own little thingy, and there are companies that run them, and I get in trouble. It's kind of the marketing and all those people. Everybody's grabbing their very large portion of that money.
Yeah,
they're all grabbing it. There's no doubt about that. I don't know how you get around it. If you want to run for the governor's job, you got to know a lot of stuff, right? You got to know how to do this. You got to be a business guy, whatever. You got to have a lot of behind you. And almost never is that, what's the general cost of an ad per 100,000 people on radio?
Right.
It's really not one of the questions these guys ever come in with, knowing what's going on. So there is room for it. There's never this, okay, and again, I'm Newcomb right now. He's in. How much does he know about what it takes to cost to fundraise? He's not going to be on the phone himself.
I don't know him, so I don't know.
But I mean, your average person doesn't have a flipping clue. So someone says, get a hold of this company. They do that. Oh, they charge 75%. Well, 25% is better than nothing, right? I mean, 100% of nothing. And so it is a whole setup. Because think of it this way. This is the way I think of it. If the two candidates, let's say they're going to be three, and Mike can even come in and get his $20 million. $60 million will be used to get a governor in the state of Minnesota. $40 million will be lost because they didn't win. You know what I'm saying? They're going to spend it. It's gone. Now, people are going to take it. The radio station going to hate me. We're going to get your cuts, but it's all gone. It's crazy amount of money. And I get the guy, $100,000. If I had $100K to back myself, it shows he's in the game. But that is just not even a whim of what it takes to get in there.
I think that's part of my point. Is it depends on how you spend it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If you've raised $1 million but 75% of that has gone back to the fundraising platform, then you're only actually operating on $250,000. Yeah. In that case, if he's just got $100,000,
very good point.
He's got
Let me do this. I've got to go to break, but I would love to. Maybe maybe you don't. I don't want to put you in a hole again. In the process we have now, whatever Republican, there's 6 of them and want to get this vote, they've got to go to BPOU meetings, local, in the counties, at your schools. They got to get people to stand up and make a slate of candidates to get to the next level, to the next. There's this whole process to get an endorsement. If you're as far as I know, I'm not being mean to Mike, the only human in the Forward Independence Party that I know, I mean, there's one. Does he have to set all that up and go through that kind of process as well? Does there have to? I would love to know what it takes to be third party guy. Could Al go, throw me in, I'm third party guy. I'm Al's party. Can he do that? I want to know. We'll talk about it with Shannon Watson. Do you know that? Am I putting you in a bad spot? Get on the internet. Look up.
In a bad spot. I know some of it. I know some of it.
See, that's why I love having you on. You know all this stuff. More with Shannon Watson, Majority in the Middle, right after this.
You need a friend at the Capitol who knows how to get things done.
And you're in luck because that's exactly who we are, your friends at the Capitol, and we deliver results.
At Momentum Advocacy, we bring decades of experience in lobbying, public affairs, and crisis communications.
From local nonprofits to national corporations, we help you move policy, manage your media, and make your voice heard.
We're not just seasoned pros, we're essential partners.
Momentum Advocacy, your friends at the Capitol. Learn more at momentum-advocacy.com.
Chanhassen Dinner Theater's gift cards make perfect holiday gifts because everyone loves the gift of live entertainment used for any current or upcoming show, incredible concerts, Stevie Ray's Comedy Cabaret, or main stage musicals like White Christmas or the upcoming high-rolling Broadway hit Guys and Dolls. Chanhassen Dinner Theater's gift cards are available in any amount, never expire, and are always the right size and color. Easy too. Order by phone or online at chanhassendt.com. Chanhassen Dinner Theaters, always entertaining you.
Amongst friends, the Al Travis Show. Nothing but talk.
We've got our Shannon Watson, the jury in the middle, answering all my tough questions today. So I don't want to rip on Mike. Mike's doing his thing. But let's just say Al Travis wants to get into the race. Al says, I'm running for governor. I got 100K. This is how we know it's a hypothetical. So we have 100K. So that should cover the cost of getting in, right? I mean, I presume there's some $350 or something at the Secretary of State. I mean, there's a filing fee. I'm sure there was when I ran.
There is a filing fee, yes.
Okay, so that's covered.
Yeah.
But right, now what happens? Now it's, you can't be everybody. I mean, 500,000 people could sign up. Might as well vote for me. Here's my $300. That's not happening. So we must weed out the weak somehow. And I believe it's this BPOU thing. How does it work? How do we what's next?
Okay, so we have two different sort of classes of political parties in Minnesota. There are major
winners and losers. No, not it.
There's major parties.
Okay.
There's major political party and minor political party, and those both have statutory definitions. For anybody who's interested in this stuff, look at the Secretary of State's website. There's a lot of information on there. But basically, major political parties, you have to have a certain number of candidates getting a certain number of votes in the prior election, and then that sets you up for like a 4-year period. So right now, the two major political parties in Minnesota are the DFL and Republican parties.
Sure.
Minor political parties, they also have a thing. They have to, have adopted a state constitution and held a convention and all the things. And then they have to put up a certain number of candidates as well. Now, the ballot access, if Al is wanting to get on the ballot, as a DFLer, because that would I'm using that. So if you want to run as a DFLer, then you file for office and you say, I am running to be a DFL candidate.
Okay.
And that gets you ballot access. And then you would run in a primary. Instead of automatic ballot access, minor party candidates, they have to petition their way on. So they have to get a certain number of signatures. The challenge with the signature, like they have to be within the right sort
territories.
Of governor, it's going to be anybody in Minnesota. So specific Senate district, it will be in that Senate district. And then they get on the ballot that way, and then they would go to the primary.
So and I don't know what the number.
They have like a specific number of days. So like the special elections that are being held for Amanda Hemmingson Yeager and Callie Hur's seats that they vacated yesterday, one to become the Senate, one to become St. Paul mayor. There's a 2-week filing period. So like people who want to run for as a Republican or as a Democrat, they file, they pay their fee, and they say, I'm running for this party. Anybody who would run as a minor party, they have 2 weeks to get the signatures.
Wow.
And so in a small house district, maybe that's not a challenge. Statewide, it can be a little bit of a logistical thing. And I would say of anything that keeps minor party members off the ballot is either not understanding how the signature petition works or not understanding that you have to do it in this very specific amount of time.
All right, fair enough. But then even if you're a minor party, Al gets in, and let's just say it's 3,000 signings in the 2 weeks. I run all over and I get 3,000.
Yes.
Fine. Al, you're in.
Yes.
But no one has to talk to me, right? I mean, if there's a debate, and that's what the things that we would watch when you get closer, that the Republican, the Democrat, and then Al's going to come on. We're not inviting Al because all he wants to talk about is football. Okay, I don't get invited. You know what I'm saying? You don't necessarily get to be in the game.
Correct. Yeah, everything I just said just has to do with legal ballot access. So the competition for endorsements, which is what happens at the BPOUs or the Senate district conventions, those kind of things, if you get an endorsement or not. If you get an endorsement, then you have that party banner up to the primary, but you still have to run in the primary. And so that's one of the things that super political people understand what abiding by an endorsement is, but not everybody does. So sometimes when people say, yes, I would like to, Al and I are running for the endorsement. Will you abide by the endorsement? If Al gets it, I will say, yes, I will drop out of the race. If Al
I never give up. I never give up. I'm in. I'll even run for the regular election without any. I don't know what I got to do. I never quit. I got to go.
You don't have to run. You can't run for the regular election, but you can absolutely run in the primary. And actually, that's something that I advocate for. Go to the primary.
There you go. Okay. One last thing before I go, because I saw you and do this on Facebook or some one of the things. It is Give to the Max week. And, of course, you're a nonprofit, and I want people to help you out because you are friends of this program. What can someone do to help Shannon Watts, Majority in the Middle, stick around?
Give us money, whether that's $1, whether that's $1,000. We will take it. It helps. Some people think that little bitty donations don't make any difference. They absolutely do. So please don't be embarrassed if you don't have a lot of money to give. You can give through the givemn.org platform, or you can save us the fees from GiveMN, and you can just give us money on our platform on majoritymiddle.org.
Majoritymiddle.org, majoritymiddle.com. You've got them both. Go there. There's a big old donate button, and I'm asking people to do that. Is that fair? I mean, on your behalf, I'm asking people to do that. I want Majority Middle to be around for a very long time. You're a great resource for us.
Al. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming to the program. We'll do it next week.
Good to see you. Yeah, absolutely.
Shannon Watts, Majority in the Middle. Go there today. Give.
If it's your turn to host a game,